The final season of Game of Thrones is lumbering along, and millions of folks are tuning in every Sunday night to find out which beloved character is getting stabbed in the head or having a body part ripped off, or who's going to take off their clothes and passionately one of their relatives in a barn. Well, a whole bunch of food and beverage brands out there got wind of Game of Thrones' popularity and thought, how can we cash in on the other appetites of this sex and violence-loving audience? Let's grade their attempts, shall we? For years now, there's been Game of Thrones craft beer courtesy of Brewery Ommegang, an American company that produces small batches of Belgian-style ales, porters, stouts, and so on, because these hearty old-timey brews seem like the kind of thing you'd see Bronn or the Hound knocking back on the show in some messed-up tavern before they kill a bunch of people. Game of Thrones beer? A+. But what about the fancy folks, the Cerseys and the Tyrions? Well, for about as long, there's also been Game of Thrones wine, which is very fitting considering how much vino gets guzzled on screen every week. Winemaker Bob Cabral produced several vintages of this Game of Thrones-inspired wine, though it's a little hard to track down and it's unclear how readily available it is. Game of Thrones wine? B+, but only for not having as much of a variety as the beer folks. Make a nice House Martell-themed Sauv Blanc and we can talk. Beer? Beautiful. Wine? Wonderful. Well, what about whiskey? Well, Johnny Walker jumped right on that and they did their homework, making a limited edition White Walker, Johnny Walker themed blend that had a White Walker bottle that has a hidden "Winter is here" message on it when it's cold. Brand synergy. However, I can't help but feel that it would have been cooler to see it come in some kind of medieval fantasy-looking wizard's bottle. We got that futuristic Blade Runner 2049 Johnny Walker. Where's the fantasy version? A for effort, solid B for execution. Though I might change my mind if you send us a bottle. The address is... All right, we got the beer, the wine, the whiskey, but what about the Mountain Dew? Well, the company sent out a bunch of limited edition color-changing cans like this one, which apparently the message, "A can has no name," kind of went with this. You can see there's the people she's trying to kill on the can. That's all very cute, but let's dig into this. Mountain Dew is fine. It's been a staple of the D&D crowd for generations, but at face value, it seems weirdly anachronistic and out of place pairing it with the HBO show. And furthermore, there's a character named the Mountain. So couldn't they have done something with that? And as for the practical application, I lived on Mountain Dew when I was 19. But if I drink a Mountain Dew at 9 p.m. on a Sunday night when I'm watching Game of Thrones, I'm gonna throw my entire sleep schedule off for a week because I'm gonna go out in the yard and start practicing knife tricks until 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I'll be sleepy all week. So anyway, technically the Mountain Dew isn't actually for sale, so I'm gonna give them an incomplete. Now, moving on. All of those beverages you can kind of justify, but what about Oreos? You know, Milk's favorite cookie, that family-friendly, dunkable, cream-filled treat. Well, they buddied up with our favorite incest and murder-filled show, making a bunch of house-themed Oreos in limited edition packaging and remaking the show's intros with said cookies. But, what the f***? Aside from how hilariously inappropriate this is, do they even have chocolate in the 7 Kingdoms of Westeros? Oreo gets an F. Cookies are pretty weird, but somehow not quite as weird as Shake Shack's Game of Thrones themed menu, which features the Dracarys burger and Dragon Glass shake. It honestly sounds delicious. It's a double bacon cheeseburger with Monterey Jack and spicy sauce, and a mint and white chocolate custard shake with Dragon Glass toffee shards, but just the nerd in me finds it dumb as hell. Can you picture anyone in Game of Thrones eating a hamburger and drinking a shake? However, the menu is in Valerian and they make you order it like that, so they did their homework, and that brings Shake Shack up to a C+. It would be higher, but there are none in my area and the lines are too long whenever I travel. Sorry, maybe I'm overthinking things, but when I'm watching this serious fantasy HBO show for adults, I'm in the zone. I want themed snacks and drinks. There's entire scenes on that show that revolve around rustic meat pies and rotisserie chickens. Where the f*** was Boston Market when everyone was jumping on the Game of Thrones bandwagon? Anyway, what are you guys eating and or drinking when you watch this epic show reach its bonkers conclusion? Share your Frey pie recipes in the comments, and for the love of God, no spoilers.